Can you hear me? I've got everything close up. I think we're good. How is the level of the music? I would love to know that. Since we've been chatting in the chat so far, I have my earpiece in so I can hear the music, and it's very loud in my ear. So I just want to make sure that it is okay for you. So, excuse me, quick drink. I've got everything super close by, which is nice. And I'm pretty excited about setting up the stream in our basement little sanctuary today. So welcome. Today is a full body stretch. So we are going to do lots of things that hopefully is going to just get you ready, just get you a little bit more open, a little more grounded, and a little bit happier. We hope. Our fingers are crossed. Good. Yes. If the music is too loud, I'll just put. It's so hard because I like when I can hear it, and when you can hear it on the replay. But we'll just keep it how it is. How about that? I'll be all right. I mean, I'm fully immersed in it, so look out. Improv is coming. Thank you. You don't want to see what's happening behind the camera. I have my phone connected to my Bellicon so I can use the camera here. I have just random lights. It's a little bit of a mess, and we had to put Flashy up because he can't. I'm locked in. You can't get it here from here, so he's going for his walk. All right, everybody. So, like I said in the chat, grab your pillows, your straps, whatever you need to make this experience a little bit more nourishing for yourself. That's what it's about today. It's absolutely not about forcing or burning or any of the things. And we're gonna begin just sitting down. Yeah, so find yourself in a comfortable seat. We're gonna make a diamond, and in the event that you want to sit on a pillow, a bolster, a block, it's absolutely available to you. You can also come into a chair. So I'm gonna be in this position, but we must take care of ourselves, right? I love our new opening. It's a good reminder for me too. And thank you. I actually used to stream regularly at 5 in the morning in this space. And we don't do that anymore. We turned 46 and we said, you know what? We can take that one off the list. All right, take your hands on your knees. Feel the soles of your feet come together. If you are in a chair, place them to the ground. We just want to either ground them towards one another or towards the ground itself. We're just going to take a slow rounding forward, reaching the hands to the ankles, rounding over, and thinking about stretching out through your back, your lower back. And then as we roll up, we're just doing a slow build, one bone at a time, feeling our sits bones pressing down into whatever we're sitting on, to come all the way back up, reaching through the crown of the head, maybe taking your eyes up a little bit. We're gonna go again. I'll try to put a nice grounding playlist together for you today. And just to allow you to just drop into that relaxation space before the bustle of either your Thursday happens or your holiday happens. We'll go one more time, rounding over. And as you're moving through, just, use your hands along your body to just give yourself a gentle awakening. We're going to take your hands to your knees, and we'll just take a little twist, left hand to right knee as we turn to face the back, and then over. All right, you all know, you're getting to know me a little bit. I'm not afraid of spiders, because actually, when you have plants and you have any number of pests, you know that the spiders actually keep the pests out of the plants. So I unfortunately ruined one of their webs, and now he's just right here taking class with me. So I'm sorry, I feel so bad. One more time. Good, come all the way back in. I just like all the living things. Let's take a side bend over. Reach your ear to your shoulder and just slide your arm out as far as you can. Shake hands with your spider. Kidding. Come on all the way up. All the way back to center and to the other side. I tell you what, between the pigeons and the spiders lately, I'm definitely not making any friends. I know people have phobias. Good. There's only two things I don't like: heights and wet toilet paper, paper towel sorts of things. There's this whole, like, I don't know what, movement on the internet of people using wet toilet paper to like make art pieces, and I'm just like, nope, no thank you. I can't watch it. I'm telling stories so we can just let ourselves flow through the first part. Sometimes that's really nice to do, you know, giving your head and your neck and shoulders just a little bit of an opportunity to open up. Using your breath and even emoting if you like. Meaning just sighing, or hey, if you need to, screaming. Take your hands on your knee. Now we're gonna round back. Just curl your tail back, rock it back, look down into your pelvis. And then as you come up, pull your knees up, lift your chest, look to the sky, open your heart. And just in case you're not sure what I'm doing, it's just rounding back here. Nice and easy. And then lifting up, chest onto the sky. I'm pulling my legs in, deepening the crease of my hips, lifting my eyes up. We'll go 2 more times. Rounding, rounding, rounding. And lifting. Actually pretty happy to be back in this space. I like it. Usually you can kind of see the wood over there of my Pilates machine, my reformer. That's usually what I do down here. I just do a little Pilates in this space, often like in my pajamas, no performance, no makeup. Let's round back again. Tracy. And then let's lift up. We're gonna turn over the right side and just go through the rounding and the rotating. So we're gonna start to build as this music builds, and you all let me know if it comes too loud, okay? I feel like I'm in a concert, and it feels good. It feels good. Rounding and reaching. Good. We're just gonna get some good juice in the spine. My main objective is that you can still hear the music, but you can also hear my voice over it. I've got the mic popped up a bit, so I think it's happening. Anxiety. 4 more. Good. Rock it back. Reach it up. Rock it back. Reach. Last one. And good. All right. Come back to center. Take your feet and just stand them here. Place your hands behind you. And then just let your knees drop over to the one side. Hold to center. Drop to the other side. Back to center. We're just starting to get a little lumbar rotation. I'm looking at you. You're up here. Sorry. I'm looking at you in the camera, in the monitor. You're up here. Still learning. This is what happens when you're a tech team of one. I was gonna have my son run tech for me, and he was uninterested. Sorry, guys. Good. Twist it. 1 more each side. Last one. Good. All right. So we're going to come on to hands and knees now. So let's just make our way. And take your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So just find that long, flat back. You're going to take a few breaths to allow your abdomen to expand. And then on your exhale, you just want to gently think about lifting your abdominal organs, muscles, feeling, tissue, whatever. Just giving it a little lift. So on your inhale, we're breathing, releasing. Exhale. Nothing else is really moving right now, just the breath. Think about reaching through your head and your tail. One more time like this. Exhale. And this time as you start to draw your abdomen up, start to round your spine. Keep drawing up, keep rounding over. I'm going to try not to yell into the microphone, but I want to drop my head over. But then as you inhale, let's do the opposite. Lift your chest, lift your tail, nice and long. exhaling here. Breathing. Cycling that breath through, opening your shoulder blades, opening your lower back. One more time. Let's bring it all the way back to center. We're going to walk our knees close together, but you can keep some support in through your abdomen. And then I'm going to just walk my hands forward a tiny bit because I'm having a little carpal tunnel-y stuff today. So if you are getting a little like twingy in your wrists, you can either come down onto your forearms or you can stand and do this exercise. This is the flamingo one we did standing last week. We're gonna pick up the foot, and this is the one where we look over and then go. It's a big loud. Okay, thank you. Here, I'm happy to turn it down. Sorry, I'm looking. I don't know why it's so hard. Tell me how that sounds. All right. There we go. Let me get you back. Yeah. All right. It's all different here. So we're going to turn the foot, look over our right shoulder if you're using your right foot. And then we're going to go into the other direction, looking over the left side. So going side to side. And if you can let me know if that's still too loud. I've got options. It's just hard to see. It's hard to know what you're hearing. That's the problem. Better. Okay. Let me know if you want it louder or softer. It's easy. It's right there. But right now we're just warming up the waist, side to side. Much better. Okay, thank you. It was really loud for me too. I felt like I was in a concert, but it's okay. I'm willing to suffer for you if it feels good on your end. Sometimes I watch these YouTubers who have like a full tech team. I mean, a lot of it times it's just teenagers. But yeah, it's a dream. It's a dream. Side to side. Couple more. Let's go one more each side. We're using our eyes, we're using our hips, we're using our waist, we're using our neck, we're using our shoulders. Come back to center. Before we go to the other side, we're gonna send that leg directly out as much as you can from your hip while maintaining that flat back position. And we wanna sit back. Remember this inner thigh stretch all the way back. Let me get my foot into the frame. There we go. So we're going back this way. And then as you come forward, you might even wanna walk your hands forward to open up your front hip. And so just keep this leg feeling powerful, feeling alive. And what I mean by that is just that sense of not just hanging out, so you're not risking the joints. I'm pushing the inner edge of my foot down pretty strong into the floor as you go back and forth. Good. And we're just hopefully feeling a stretch on that inner thigh. Reaching our spine back, nice and long. Good, one more time. I got a whole kind of flow sequence going. So from here, we're gonna come back up, and with this foot, I just want you to see if you can slide it forward, almost like you're gonna stand on it, and then slide it backward to that side position. There we go. Slide it forward and slide it back. Your comments sometimes come like a minute after I've made a joke, so I'm assuming you're laughing at those jokes. Good. So from the side to the front. I actually think with these classes, the music is just kind of a sidebar accompaniment versus like our cardio-based classes. They need to be a little bit louder for sure. Good. Here we go. All right, we're gonna go one more time forward. So you're out to the outside of your mat. Just let yourself stretch forward any amount. Walk your hands forward. You're gonna just press forward into that hip and then stretch it back. And I know that this is hard, so any amount you have is perfect, okay? It does not need to look like mine. It's just about allowing yourself to explore a different way of moving, a different way of stretching. Good. Let's go 2 more pumps here, forward and back. And one more. Bring it back. Good. We're going to come back to center. Walk your hands in and then heel toe your foot forward until we can come up. It's a whole series. All right, so hopefully we're in a 90-degree, and for those of you who take class regularly, you know you can get onto a chair and support yourself here. Take your hands behind your head. We're going to rotate towards your leg. We're going to come down into a nice twist stretch as far as you can. When we come back up, press down into both legs and rotate to face front. It does not need to be perfect. Some of it is going to be an interesting exploration that just kind of challenges your balance. Rotating, stretching it over, pulling it up. Hopefully we're getting a little more hamstring stretch as we reach down. 2 more. Reach it over. Lift and rotate. Let's do 1 more. We're going to twist, reach it over. Now you can stay here, or you can tuck your back toes under and come up into a long twisted lunge, and we'll just breathe. Whatever you need. 3, pressing back through your heel if you're in that lunge. And last one, let's lower the knee down, untuck your toe, come all the way back up, rotate to face front. We'll bring our knee back down, and just because I'm gonna run out of space, I'm gonna turn around this way to do the other side. Let's take our hands down. Going through a couple rounds of cat-cow first, just rounding over. Good, reach, lengthen. Good, rounding over. Reaching through. And 1 more time. We'll reach through and then come back to that flat back position. Bring both knees together, pick up your back heel, and then spin, looking at your knee over your left shoulder and over your right, or whatever side you're on right now. You're just trying to get the most visual information about that foot as possible. And I do tend to point my feet as a dancer. You can do whatever you need to do. If your feet cramp in this position, please don't force it, yeah? Got a little cracking happening today. Good. And 1 more across, and then we'll take it out to the side. So we're gonna send that leg straight out from your hip, and then shifting back towards your heel. Ooh, that's tight. Come on forward. It's not uncommon to feel that tension kind of get a little bit intense, for lack of a better word, on one side versus the other is what I'm trying to say. Finish your thought, Jenna. Good. Yeah. We want to get up into the warmer tissues. And so, you know, I'm feeling the little twinges of the joints that are a little arthritic from dance and, you know, just using them a lot. But what we do know is that systemic heat will often help your body feel good. So whether it's a full body movement or a shower or hot tub or a sauna or something like that, that can really help. All right, let's come back up. And we're just gonna slide it forward and slide it back out. Slide it forward and slide it back out. I'm gonna walk my hands forward a little bit more. If you can, if you want to, bring it into more of a lunge. We're just kind of showing that movement is possible. Yeah, and concentrating, just giving ourselves a little bit, like essentially what we're practicing besides just stretching is we're kind of getting ready to get up off the ground, right? So sometimes it's nice to just feel the weight shifts. Last one, bring it forward, hold it, and then heel toe your foot all the way in. Bring yourself all the way up. Standing nice and strong, hold on. A little crack of the knee, hands behind the head. Rotate, take it over. Bring it all the way up. Face front. Twist, reach. Good. Lift Oh yeah, sometimes it's a struggle. Good, twist and reach. Lift. Good. Excellent. So if you are celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday with your family today, I always want to offer a reminder to prioritize hydration. I don't drink alcohol, but I do eat salty foods, and those things can wreak havoc on your system, especially if you've got a little bit of inflammation. Let's stay down on this one. Tuck the toes under if you like, and then come into your long stretch. So I'm not going to restrict myself from anything today that I want to eat, but also I'm going to just prioritize hydration because it does make a difference of how I feel the next day. You know, this is the balance that we have to strike. All right, everybody. All right, go ahead and come down. Unhook your foot all the way up. Come back to center. Okay, all right, so we are going to sweep our legs around, and we're going to take a little hamstring stretch. The last time I gave this to this group of my live streamers, you weren't super happy with me. I probably shouldn't say that before I give the exercise, but I say it because I want you to remember that it is not, you're not meant to pancake yourself to the ground. You're meant to just incrementally work on your hip stretch. So we're gonna lean forward and hug our legs as much as possible. And in your hip fold, you're really kind of trying to break a pencil here. And then just starting to move your feet forward, wiggle them forward on your mat. And as you come closer forward, it's like you're resting on your legs as much as possible. You're letting the weight of your legs pull your arms down. You're breathing. You're just seeing what's there for you. My knees are still bent. Sometimes I look for tension around my abdomen, my back, my shoulders, and just see if it's possible to come into this stretch. For those of you who are hypermobile, you know, maybe you find the mid-range of the stretch instead of the end range and just see what's there for you. And you know who you are. We're going to come into a place that feels strong. And then we're going to just bend our knees a little bit, unhook our hands, come all the way up, walk it back in, and do it. Let's go 2 more times. So just wiggle or slide your feet forward. Try to lay out. Maybe this is it. For some of you with very tight hamstrings, this might be it for you today. It's not a bad thing. It's just work the stretch where you want to work it. Unfortunately, mine are very long, and so I got to get down into this arena before I start to feel them. All right, so find your stretch and let's just take a couple breaths. Letting yourself sink in. Good. Release your hands, bend your knees, walk yourself all the way up. Now you can take the last one without your hands, or you can, yes, you can absolutely sit on a yoga block. You can take your hands back underneath, or you can just slide your hands forward and try to see what stretch you have today. So we're just walking. I'm waiting for the signal from my legs that it's okay to go a little farther forward. And if it is okay to go forward, then we'll just let it go a little bit. And if it's not, then we'll just hang out here. Good, rolling up through the spine. Well, that was enough, right? All right, so this is another stretch that I feel is so helpful for the hips, but I'm gonna actually use a pillow for it because I tend to be tight in this range. And a lot of people will refer to it as a pigeon stretch. You can also do this one on your back in a figure 4 if that works better for you. But for this one, let's see, how will I do it? I'll do it with my front leg here. That stretch makes me feel bad, does it say, Tracy? Aw. Yeah, I mean, remember what your expectations are always, right? I think that when we feel bad, if you're talking about bad about yourself or really tight, you have to think about what's there for your life. So how you're supporting yourself with the range of motion you need. If you want to increase range of motion, you just have to work it a little bit more and create a relationship with it. I always say the things that are really hard, it's like being partnered with somebody for a group project that you just don't jive with, and you have to find a way to work together. So it's going to be a little give and a little take. All right, so we're going to take I'm using my left leg for the first one and come forward, and then just put a pillow underneath the hip. Now, if this is absolutely impossible for you, I want to encourage you to go onto your back and do the figure 4. You don't need to prove anything in this space, okay? Once you're here, we're just trying to turn our back hip towards the ground, and then we're just going to try to hang here for a couple of moments, okay? If you feel fine here, wonderful. If you want to take it down a little bit more, you absolutely can. This one's artificial, so. And it's about breathing and just noticing what comes up in this stretch for you, right? So if it's something that says like, wow, I'm really tight, and you automatically think I shouldn't be this tight, I want you to pause that thought in its place. And we want to, remember we talked a little bit about climbing the next rung of our thoughts and our dialogue. So if you hear should or shouldn't at any point in your movement class, I want you to think about, wow, it's really tight. I wonder what it would feel like to be less tight. I wonder if there's any way that I can offer myself a better choice or more support or something like that. Okay, just try to find the curiosity, because there is no way one should be, okay? I have the distinct honor of being an aunt to my beautiful niece, June, who was born with something called CMV, which is a virus that can happen while baby's in utero, and unfortunately it's delayed her development quite a bit, and she has some impairments in her eyes and her ears, and she's not mobile, she uses a chair, and she's also not verbal, but she's very communicative, and she is just a beautiful, beautiful soul, and she reminds me every single time that I see her that there is no right way to be a human. There are ways to explore, getting stronger, getting looser, getting smarter, getting more empathetic. There's always ways to explore, but ultimately your design is perfect. And when we start from that premise, we start to get a little more self-compassion, which leads to more self-care like we talked about the other day. Let's start to climb out of this, shall we? We did it. We did it. All right. So holding a stretch for long like that can be a little bit much. We want to shake it out. But I also find that sometimes it just gives you that release that you need, you know? So, all right. Shall we do the other side? No, yes, we're gonna do the other side. All right, so the way that I enter into it is I just try to bring that pillow right underneath my hip, and then I just kind of slide my other leg back as much as I can, and then choose the position that's gonna give me the best, most supported stretch, also the one that's not gonna feel like it's stressing me out. I always say the phrase, if there's one thing I want you to know, which is probably like 65 things, but literally, if there is one thing I want you to know about the stress component, is that it does interrupt every aspect of your body. It almost like, it's like the loud talker. It's like the music. You couldn't hear what I was saying. You couldn't hear the directions. You could just hear the noise. That's stress. It stops the good flow of, you know, supportive thoughts and all of the things that we're trying to encourage in terms of growth, and it puts us into emergency strategy. So I'm pretty excited for the nervous system week that we're doing in NeuroTune coming up, because we're going to try to get in touch with a few of the different states of our nervous system, which is hard. It's hard. It's hard. There's a ladder of nervous system states too, from fight or flight to rest and digest, and lots of things in between. All right, we're almost done with this one. All right. Let's make our way out of this. Of course, you can always go back to anything that felt really good. We're gonna come down on our backs. Yeah, the noisy chaos. I mean, you know, part of it is focus. Let's take it down nice and easy. Part of it is focusing, and part of it is, you know, if we use it as a metaphor, it's just, you know, it's a distraction. And I do the same thing. So, you know, when you have a sensitive nervous system, you just have to use the strategies like focusing in on something that is like trying to find the smallest sound amidst the noise, you know, trying to hone in. Sometimes it's impossible, but sometimes it's okay. All right, so let's start with your left leg. We're gonna take the hand behind your hamstring. You'll have it just at tabletop. And we're gonna just turn the leg so that the foot tries to point to the wall, maybe or maybe not, and then turn the leg so that the foot tries to put in the opposite way. So your thigh bone is like a periscope. It's not windshield wipering. It's just turning in the socket as you go side to side. And surely if you don't need your arms there, you can just turn it this way and then that way. We've just done the lots of just hip stretches, and now we're just doing a little bit of strengthening, yeah? Just trying to find a little bit of work. Yeah. Yeah, my job is always going to be to try to reframe it. That's part of the way that we undo the toxic fitness stuff, you know? We just gotta find a higher thought. And I really don't mean that from like a toxic positivity space. I just mean one that helps us keep going. Good. All right. Let's bring that leg back to center. Let's fold it into your chest. Take your hand on your knee and then just slowly slide your other one as far away as possible. You're reaching long through the one, pulling short through the other. Just take a couple breaths. We're gonna take a right hand on top of your left knee. You can ease out of that deep fold and just take a little twist. I'm keeping my left shoulder on the ground because I need to stretch more through my hip. But if you feel like letting the whole thing roll over, just kind of experiment and see what feels good. So yesterday I had like a really unique opportunity with a company, and I was really excited about it, and it just didn't work out for a number of different reasons. And being in the mindset of so much NeuroTune content right now, and just being very aware of what's helping and what's not helping. We're almost done with this one, everybody, try to hang in. I let myself, I said, Jenna, you're gonna ride the waves through everything. And so initially I said, I feel disappointment, not I am disappointed. So I didn't want that. I feel disappointment. And then I just let myself feel what disappointment was. And it kind of felt heavy, etc. Let's come back to the center. All right, take your hands behind your leg and let's just do a little kicking up and bending down. Okay, so I feel disappointment. And then I did feel like a little shame, which was not mine to feel, but it was there. And so I said, oh, I feel shame. Like, why didn't, you know, maybe I could have done more to make this work. And then I let that go for a couple minutes, and then I thought, okay, I'm starting to feel resilience. This is a good learning. I can see the learning opportunity. I can see what I might do differently for the next proposal, whatever it is. You know, if I want to get into these corporate spaces, I have to be really mindful about the way I go about taking care of myself, and I did that. So yeah, okay, I can see the learning. I feel resilience. And then finally I was like, oh wait, I have something else that might fit their needs that I didn't consider before. Okay, I'm gonna reach out to them and see if that works. Okay, I feel hope. Yeah, because I really want to be in this space and I really want to offer what I can. So it was this very interesting, good, relax, lower it down, bring your other one up. You know, I storytell so we can just move and think. Hands behind, we're gonna rotate it, and then we're gonna rotate it. So when you let yourself kind of watch the movie of your mind as you're going through something, and you practice what we call non-attachment, which is I'm not the thing I'm feeling, I'm not my feelings, I'm experiencing the feelings, versus I don't care what I'm feeling or I'm just not gonna think anything else. That's detachment, that's not very helpful. But non-attachment is just like, okay, this is happening, I'm feeling what's happening. I can have judgments surrounding those feelings. I can not like it or like it. And then I can kind of, you know, come into a place where maybe I'm learning something from that feeling. Maybe I can have some insight. This is how we get wisdom, right? So wisdom is inside of us. It's not an external thing. So I share that because I think that when I'm talking about finding a higher thought, it's that. It's not bypassing the feelings. It's not the everything happens for a reason stuff. I don't believe in that. It's more along the lines of I'm a human being having a great, a crappy, a sad, a happy, I didn't mean to rhyme that, but you get it, experience in my life, and I'm gonna notice it. Bring it in. It's almost like when you drop into that sort of inquiry and witness what's happening, it's almost like you give your soul a chance to witness what your body is experiencing versus your body, which is very reactive, versus your body leading the charge. Your body, unfortunately, you know, they say the body keeps the score. Yeah, sometimes it cheats. It says things are a lot worse than they are. All right, let's take it over and cross. That's my TED Talk, you all, for today. You always look forward to them, I think. But yeah, it's just that kind of thing as you go into navigating family dynamics that, you know, we cram them into 2 months, at least in the States. We got to have some level of perspective that we can bring to it, yeah? Good. Good. Just letting ourselves sink into any amount more of the stretch. You needed that this morning. You're so welcome. I think I did too. My proudest moments are not like, you know, being successful on paper or social media or anything like that. My proudest moments are those moments when I'm like, wow, you navigated an emotional wave, like you were on top of it instead of being taken over by it, you know? I love this song. All right, come back. Let's take our legs up and down. We're almost there, everybody. I can see the sun staring at you when you make that smile. I'm moving closer to you now. I can't get close enough somehow. This is part of, I hope you're feeling grounded. Part of letting your nervous system settle. And we challenge it a little bit. And then we let it go. And just rest and digest. Good. Last one. All right, let's reach it all the way out. If you'd like to take a roll up, you can. You can also just make your way up to seated. All right. I'm going to invite you to come into a seated position. I'm going to go cross-legged. You can go on a block, on a chair. you know what your choices are. Just get a second to be comfortable. Drawing your shoulders down your back. And then let's just do a little neck circle. So we're gonna nod the chin towards your throat. And then let your ear go to your shoulder. Look to the sky. All the way over. And then down. Go slow enough that you don't get dizzy. Stopping at any places that need a little extra attention. Supporting yourself throughout the way. You can take me high. Let's finish up our last circle and then we'll go to the other direction.
My way in the city, and I feel alone when you're with me. I look for places where I can't hide.
Just taking it nice and easy.
Places, some familiar faces. I think I just need a little.
Exploring some of those ranges of motion. Everything else is just still.
I have said I can take it, but I think you should let me go.
And when you're done, just come all the way up to the center. So the last thing we're going to do today is what I call a body sway or body circle meditation. It's a moving meditation, so you can keep your eyes open if you like. The idea is to give yourself over to the movement a bit. So I'm going to just cast my eyes downward. You can do this in your chair. Just be sure that your shapes don't go so crazy that you start to fall off the chair, okay, so that you're grounded. Let your shoulders drop. Let your abdomen soften. Let your hips support your weight. And then we're going to just begin breathing in and out. Exhaling fully. Listening to the music, tuning into our breath. And then to begin, let's just start to circle our torso around in just a gentle circular motion. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. It's almost like you're tracing kind of an oval on whatever surface you're seated on with your sits bones. And just circling around your space. Let it be comfortable. You can go at whatever cadence you want. Let your breath support you. And just continue to draw those circles. And as they might be amoebas, they might be ovals, they might be circular. As you draw them, you're just going to allow them to be as big as you'd like them to be. Or as small as you'd like them to be. And keep going. Just keep breathing as you circle, and if the mood hits you, then you might begin to pick up the pace. There we go. we're circling around and maybe taking it just a little bit faster, almost giving your body up to the shape, to the energy. And if you like the way that this feels, you can absolutely come back to it. We're gonna do kind of an abbreviated version today. I gotta get cooking. So just give yourself over to a cadence and a circular pattern that feels pretty good for you right now. Bigger or smaller. And then we're going to slowly dial the circle back a little bit, making it a little slower and a little smaller. And then just dial it back another little bit, making it a little smaller, a little slower. And pull it back again, a little smaller, a little slower. And again, a little smaller, a little slower. And a little smaller and a little slower. Maybe you're circling around the size of a milk cap. A little smaller, a little slower. Maybe it's around the size of a soda pop cap. And a little smaller, a little slower, maybe the size of a cranberry. Maybe a pomegranate seed. And maybe a sesame seed. And maybe just the head of a pin. And just for a moment, notice the awareness that you have between that tiny, tiny circle. Maybe you've stopped moving and that's okay. And the awareness that extends out to the edges of the biggest circle you created today. And so some days our gratitude is only going to be able to extend out a little bit. We're going to have to refill our resources. We're going to have to remind ourselves that we have gratitude to offer. We're going to have to support our energy. So some days the gratitude will be a little less, and that's okay. If that is today for you, I'll ask you to choose just one tiny little thing that you're grateful for today. Maybe it's taking a deep breath. Just a tiny little thing. And then as we consider the days where we are well-resourced and fed and slept and hydrated and connected and grounded, those are the days where we might be able to offer more out into the world. And if that's a day like that for you today, perhaps you are able to consider one great, huge thing that you are grateful for. And for me, it's this community. And if we remember that everything exists on an ever-changing spectrum, some days more, some days less, we release the expectation for it always to be a certain way. then we can sometimes learn about the different colors on that spectrum and what they hold for us. So my ask and wish for you today is that you go through the day looking for different elements of gratitude on that spectrum. You may be able to find something big and significant, or it might just be as tiny as a pinprick today. But explore what you are capable of. Honor where your energy lies, and send whatever you can out into the world in terms of gratitude and appreciation, knowing full well that everything counts. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhaling fully, starting to bring some movement back into your body, maybe blinking your eyes open, releasing your shoulders down, widening your collarbones. When you're ready, coming back with us into the space. I'm grateful for all of you today. Thank you for being here with me so consistently. The practice is amazing, and I truly, truly hope that it is serving you in all of the ways. Will continue to serve you in all of the ways. Housekeeping wise, there'll be some new classes up on the schedule by the end of the week, and you'll see those coming up, but you know what our schedule is: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful holiday if you're celebrating, and if you're just having a beautiful day, have a beautiful day. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate you. Thank you, Colleen, Joy, Tracy, Paul, whoever else might be watching at this time. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back on Monday at 9:30. We will not be in my basement, but you know, we made it work today, and I'm pretty happy about that. All right, my friends, big love. Take good care of yourself. Don't forget to find out why. Should we do it? Does it work? I don't think it's going to work. It's always something. Don't forget to check in with why the movement mattered to you today. All right, see you next time.